Hello, I'm RetroJules. Merry Christmas to you. This time it is Christmas. Here we are again, and the fire's still going. The logs are in the same place. No light bulbs have gone out. Our lounge still looks amazing. And that dog is still sleeping in front of the fire. And the funny thing is, we don't have a dog. We have 2 cats. It's quite possible I was in somebody else's lounge. But it's amazing if you get dressed up in a red and white suit with a hat with a white pom-pom on the end, black Wellington boots, and turn up in a sleigh with a few reindeer on the front. It's like a ticket to everywhere. And I just ate mince pies, drank sherry, and got a little bit sozzled in whoever's lounge this was. I don't know if you remember, I made a little video about this is my story and told you guys how I got into tanking and why I got into tanking. And I had some brilliant responses to that video, and I thought you guys might want to see how other people and why other people got into tanking. Capri Man said, I found your channel first, liked the look of it, found it on the PS4, and now one of your clan members on the PS4, so you're to blame for me being hooked on the game. Ha ha ha. Oh, you're welcome, mate. Lawrence Crosby said, my son introduced me to World of Tanks. I've been hooked ever since. Since I had recently quit smoking, I had found my new addiction, World of Tanks. I mean, who doesn't like piloting a tank and smashing the Reds, or hearing the Reds' shells bouncing off your armour like music to my ears? I love this game even after 4 years of playing. That's fantastic to hear. Currency said, I started on World of Tanks after a motorcycle accident. I was stuck on the couch for a while, so I was looking through the free-to-play games on the PS4. I found World of Tanks and it kept me entertained while I was recovering. A really common occurrence, this one, how people found the game through something happening in their life that stopped them working. David Wilden said, my tanking started at the tender age of 13. Haha. I said tanking. David, I have no idea what you're talking about. My friend and I would make Airfix model tanks and then battle, referring to a book of tablets which let you know how many inches you could move your tank, and then there were the dices to be thrown to see if you had hit the target and to see what damage you'd done. This was long before even the mighty Amstrad 464. Fast forward, like other subs, I first watched my son play on the 360, and then I saw the light, your channel, and been the bane of your life ever since. Oh, indeed you have. Hello Flame, my Polish friend. Tanks were fun. My brother got me into it back on the 360, then I found friends who I've always platooned with and was completely addicted to tanks. I made a clan which was purely for fun. Then I joined a top 3 Polish clan and participated in tournaments, and started to not enjoy the game as much. That's it really. Got to say it's great seeing how much your channel has grown. Soon you won't be able to read all the comments because there will be so many. It's interesting you should say that because it's just starting to get a little bit like that, which is a shame, but also it's amazing for me. And yeah, Flame just got to take the game too seriously and it completely killed it for him, which is a bit of a shame really. Grandpa Buckshot, now why do I think you live in the deep south? Wear dungarees and a straw hat. Bit stereotypical maybe. Anyway, in 2014 I became disabled, diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and later a heart condition, and then diabetes. Struggled with depression from not working and feeling useless, and at my lowest point even started thinking seriously of suicide. My daughter got me an Xbox One and soon learned of a game called World of Tanks. I soon got hooked and play almost every day. I still suck at it, but I play because I have fun. Mate, that's a really touching story, and I hope, Grandpa Buckshot, you are in a much better place and love having you as part of the community, sir. Javen Webb said, I started on the 14th of February 2014. I was 13 at the time. You are just a mere whippersnapper, my boy. I remember coming back from school and turning on my Xbox as usual, seeing the games for gold and checking out this game, World of Tanks. It looked like fun, so I thought, why not? It's free. I had around only 2 hours a day to spend on the Xbox, and I remember it took about an hour, possibly more. I logged in, did the tutorial, and got into some games. It was very weird, but I enjoyed it a lot, so I just continued playing it. Fast forward to today, and I'm now 18, still a mere whippersnapper, my boy. I've been playing it for pretty much the entirety of my teenage life. Never thought I'd be playing it for this long. Like with other games, they come and go, but World of Tanks never seemed to make me lose enough interest to stop. I think as long as I'm still interested enough in games or have enough time to play them, then I'll still be playing World of Tanks. Here's to another 4 years though. Yep, I agree with that. Hurrah to another 4 years. John Penner said, "Hello Retro, love your style and your videos. Your story and mine are a lot alike. I own my own business. I had back and neck fusion, hated television, couldn't find things to keep my mind working. My son got me on the PC World of Tanks, played for 2 years, and was way too toxic. Then he set me up on his account on the Xbox 360 3 years ago, and I have not looked back. Recent elbow and ulnar nerve surgery has caused a few problems with spasms in my hand and fingers. Yeah, see, I get that. That explains my driving. That's a little bit of a lie, actually. But still enjoying the game. It is my only escape, and I hope to play till there's still fuel and ammunition in my tank. Thanks again for the great videos." You're welcome, John. Mark Groudon is an important person. I'm a manager of a 100+ person department. Xbox and World of Tanks are a getaway for me on the weekends. I started tanking due to my sons wanting me to play with them. I completely enjoy the game as a relaxation hobby. I followed the Beer Guys, Mad Friday, Sins and others. Really started enjoying it more when I discovered your videos. Thank you, Mark. Someone just like me. Not great all the time, not horrible all the time, we just enjoy the game. Thank you for all you do for us. You and your work are appreciated. You are most welcome. Master Butcher? I wonder what you do for a living. I had a similar thing with myself, Retro, with back pain. I had a tumour wrapped around my 2nd to 4th vertebrae on my spine. Had it fused. Had to learn how to walk again, so I spent my time playing World of Tanks. Keep up the awesome work, RJ. I thoroughly enjoy your channel. That must have been a very difficult time for you, Master Butcher, and I hope you're well past it and glad the game helped you get through that difficult time. That's Nutrageous Gaming said, "I got into tanking about 2 years ago on PS4, a year and a half after graduating high school, and as well moving out of my parents' house. I had other AAA games I could play, just got bored and with my friends away from college, or just moved on from gaming, no one to play with. I had little money, almost not enough to pay my internet bill, had to play cheap, so started playing the free-to-play World of Tanks. Definitely one of the harder games to get into without the help of you, Retro, and others on YouTube. But now I spend a lot of time into the game, always getting free premium tanks when there's events. I've only spent maybe $50 on the game, and that was only because of a PS4 gift card. It just goes you to show this game truly can be free to play, and if you work hard, you can enjoy it without spending a penny, or maybe spending other people's pennies, or dollars in your case. RH said, "My tanking was started by a convergence on 4 fronts. A love of military hardware, due to a father serving many active years in the Air Force and being an avid photographer. A love of building scale models, Russian armour is my speciality. It would seem that Russian armour is a speciality in the game too, but I'm not going to mention Russian bias right now. Reading several books and the movie celebrating the life of George Patton. And finally, a love of military strategy games, first on the PC, the Close Combat series being my favourite, then moving on to PS4. The Mighty Jingles got me to try World of Tanks on PC, but you, Retro, got me to try and ultimately stay playing on PS4. Many thanks from a loyal fan from the States across the pond." Oh, you're welcome, that's really good to hear. Simon Hill said, "Thanks for sharing your story with us, Retro. Your videos are always a refreshing change from the norm." I do my best to try and make things a little bit different for you guys. I have always liked tanks and learning about world wars. I have never been a good gamer. That's something we got in common then, mate. And got into World of Tanks through a friend. First played in December 2015 and have enjoyed the game ever since. Did not get into watching YouTube videos until later and self-learnt early on. My daughter now plays on my account as well, which I really enjoy watching her play. Slightly better than me. I am a clan member and keep up the good work. Thank you, Simon. SMS Customs, like you, I have spine issues, a terminal neurological disease. I can't walk, I'm housebound, and found this through a friend, and it's helped me find friends and good guys like yourself. But I got bored with all the issues and went to War Thunder, but I still pop in to get killed every now and then. Good vid. That's a touching story, and I'm glad this game has helped you get into a better place and been good therapy for you, SMS. Tensor Tab said, I tried World of Tanks PC, but using mouse and keyboard seemed completely counterintuitive. I completely agree. When I heard it was out on console, I dusted off my kid's really old Xbox 360. I think it was the first generation that amazingly hadn't red ringed. Oh, the rings of death. And scrounged a wireless connection and started playing. As a veteran, I loved the realistic tactics and game pace. I could never decide which types of vehicles or countries to play, so I started grinding everything at once. When the game came out for Xbox One, I retired the old 360. I started watching YouTube channels, Jingles, Quickie Baby, Beardface and the Beard Guys to learn more tricks. At this point I grinded almost everything to tier 9, but lost my drive for the grind. I'm still grinding, but stopped spending money. I still think the matchmaking is bad. I don't like the mercenary tanks, but they haven't ruined the game. I'm trying out Armoured Warfare and War Thunder, but I don't think they have the right formula yet. I'll keep tanking a World of Tanks and maybe spend a little money, and I watch your channel whenever there's something new posted. Thank you for that, Tensor. Ultra Runa said, my son got me into World of Tanks. I was really crap for a while until I started watching yours and a few other channels. Well, watching mine probably kept you crap, actually, Ultra Runa, and started to understand the complexity of the game. Now I'm just crap. Oh, well, there you go. But I don't stress over it. Keep up the good work. Walking Dad, 69. As a fellow tanker who is older than God's dog. Really? You're that old? See, I thought Jesus' cat was old, but God's dog takes it up another level. And remembers the advent of gaming PCs like the 64. I salute you. Oh, the Commodore 64, mate. What an awesome, awesome machine. And a magic decade in history of gaming. Ex-serviceman with a manic obsession about World War II found the game by accident, got a few of the lads from work to download it, and hey presto, a clan was born. Enjoying the vids and the gameplay. Zboy11 said, I got into World of Tanks and War Thunder because I love World War II, the history and the guns. The tanks, etc. Tried playing World of Tanks on PC once with a mouse and keyboard. Jeez, the less said about that the better, so was very happy when it came to PS4. I completely agree with you. I think for casual gamers, having a controller has always been the way forward. Keyboards and mouses kind of takes me back to the Commodore 64 era, where you would have a joystick with one button and then you would press keys on the keyboard as well to do like mega bombs and things like that. And for me, it's just an antiquated style of gaming. But I wouldn't dare mention that to the PC guys. Origin of One said, I've always been intrigued by history, particularly modern. However, tanks were not a particular concern despite their significant presence in major conflicts. This was soon to change during a school camping trip several years ago when a variety of armoured vehicles were passing the bridge at the lake we were staying at. One in particular caught my complete attention, an M1A1 Abrams. I waved and the tank commander waved back. Oh, that was a special moment. This moment, although small, sparked a fascination with tanks from the historical context, use and mechanical and technological characteristics. That's a tongue twister. After months of reading and researching, I wondered if there was any games involving tanks, and here I am today playing World of Tanks. It's funny how these little tiny moments in history can sway you later on in life. When I was very young, my dad had a Hillman Hunter, and I remember we were at Bovington watching them training, and we pulled right up to the fence. And back in the days before health and safety, and you could just lean over a fence and watch a tank in front of your nose. And I remember, and I must have been very small, but I remember this clearly, I waved to the tank. The tank turned and it came straight towards us, and I remember the barrel of the gun coming right over the top of the car as this tank, and for some reason I remember it as a chieftain, stopped right in front, and somebody got out the tank, walked to the front along the upper glacis, and I got lifted onto the tank. And I always remember this head down at my feet, which was the driver's head, poking out of the tank. An absolutely magic memory for me, and obviously you had one of those memories too. And finally, Zapranoth. Oh my word. Chapter and verse. I will try and read this out without making any mistakes. I've already related a little about Alex, the tank pimp, my son, who got me hooked on this game. Curse you, boy. I started playing on his account on the 360 and chose 2 lines to play, German Tiger Heavies and Russian TDs. Still remember my first carry game in the VK when I realised it was possible to do so, if you have the confidence. Got my first mark of excellence on the SU-100, which also taught me to shoot, and generally had fun without getting too wrapped up in it. Then, sensing my weakness, the tank pimp casually one day said, "Hey Dad, you should get your own Xbox 360 and your own account so we can platoon." Curse you, boy. So $75 for a used 360, $60 for a year of Xbox Gold, downloaded the game. Think of a gamer tag. My own gamer tag. What to use? Well, I'm 47 at the time, and I want to include a reference to my age so everyone knows. Not sure why I did that, but at the time it was a thing for me. So I'll include 1968. That makes you 2 years older than me, mate. But what else? Then a reference to an old novel I read in high school popped into my head. High Lord Zapranoth. All is well, right? That was April 2016. In May, I got caught up in a reduction in force at my employer and was out of work until early December. So between job searches, interviews, etc., in order to stay sane, I tanked. Had time to earn a hammer when it first came out, only op I've ever done. Learned how to properly play light tanks as opposed to SUI scouting in the WZ-131, and pursued some of the more offbeat tank lines in the game. Different ones from the tank pimp. March 2017, happily employed again, financial situation better, smooth sailing, the tank pimp approaches. "Hey Dad, my 360 died. If you want to continue platooning, you'll need to get an Xbox One to go with mine. The graphics are better anyway." Curse you, boy. So, $175 for a used one, plus $60 for a new controller. A few months later, the one that came with is okay, but I wanted a better one. And we got to where we are today. Favourite tank lines are the American lights, even if they did destroy the Bulldog, Chinese heavies and Soviet KVs. Notice Retro, there's no tank destroyers mentioned. Joined the clan when it came out, tried to regularly visit the club every day, and you do well at that, mate. And post when I have something interest, and you do that too. Keep meaning to post a platoon invite on the club some Saturday, and I get too busy. Now that the weather is cold and my outdoor projects are done, maybe I'll find time. Well, I really hope you enjoyed listening to other people's stories and the reasons they tank. I love the fact that people from all different walks of life, different ages, from all around the world, we all meet here, we all meet in the game, and we enjoy each other's messages, and we enjoy absolutely annihilating each other's tanks. I thank you for watching the channel this year. And I thank you for enjoying what I do. This channel would be nothing without you guys, and I thank you for the messages that you leave and the comments on the videos. Here's to another year of tanking. I raise my glass to you and I say Merry Christmas to you, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your aunties, your uncles, your grandmas, your granddads, your children, the dog, the cat, the goldfish, and even the chinchilla. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.